Hey guys, it's Faith, and today I'm going to be sharing my high-end eyeshadow palette collection with you. And I just want to make a quick disclaimer and say that I'm not trying to brag in any way. I'm just going to show you what I have and give you my opinion on it. So maybe if you've been thinking about buying one of these palettes, my opinion may help you with your decision. And I know I love watching these videos, so I decided to make one for myself finally because I'm a makeup lover. So I decided to try this YouTube thing out. So I'm going to start with a palette that I'm not very happy with. It's the Bobbi Brown Sandy Nude Eye Palette. And the packaging is very pretty, standard black and white Bobbi Brown packaging. And I was very excited about this palette because I had never tried Bobbi Brown shadows before. But I was really disappointed with it. I got it on sale, actually. I got it for $30, and it's a very pretty palette. Like, it has very pretty nude colors in it. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to swatch this very darkest one, and then this shimmer next to it. And they really just don't have that much pigment. They're kind of chalky. They don't go on my eyes well. And the shimmers, they have fallout everywhere, and they have flakes everywhere, and the mattes just have no pigment, like not enough pigment for me. So for a high-end eyeshadow palette, I was pretty disappointed with it. And don't mind my hands, they have iodine on them from fixing up a little horse injury. So, but I have this MAC palette. It's MAC by Rebecca Moses. MAC illustrated by Rebecca Moses, and I'm pretty sure this was limited edition. It's pretty old. It's one of the first palettes that I ever got, and since it was one of the first palettes that I ever got, I used it all the time. And I used to do just really light shimmering eye when I first started doing makeup, so I loved this palette for that. For a light shimmering eye, I loved the blush. I never really used the lipsticks in here. They were okay. They come in this little thing that opens up, so they're protected. But they weren't really good. They were kind of patchy, and they didn't stay on very well. But I do really love the packaging on this. Mine is pretty dirty, but it does have like eyes and lips on it, and I like that. But I just don't use it anymore because I've moved on to bigger and better things, I feel like. And so this one is one of my favorite palettes. It is the Tarte Maneater palette. And you open it up, it has a nice mirror. It has 8 shades. I think they've updated it now and it has 9 shades. And they've changed this bigger shade to 2 individual pans. And you can see that I love this shade right here, Lace. It's beautiful, shimmer, it's gorgeous. And then all the mattes in here just blend really well. They go on my eyes. When I want to do like a no effort eye look, but it looks like I've put a lot of effort and thought into it, but I know I'm not going to mess up and I know it's going to look good, I go to the Tarte Maneater palette. The next palette I got is from Becca. It's the Becca Ombre Nudes Eye Palette. And it has 5 shades in it. They don't have shade names. They're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't really mind that. You open it, and there's your 5 shades right here. They're just from light to dark nudes. They're kind of cool tone. There's a couple that are maybe a little warm tone, but it's mostly cool tone. And I use these for transition shades a lot. Sometimes I'll do a whole eye look with it, but I usually like a little bit of shimmer. These are all matte, but they are amazing matte eyeshadows. And it wasn't very expensive. I got it on sale, so I like that a lot. And then I have the Tartelette Tease palette. This palette, I kind of have mixed feelings for it because I really, really like it. And I've used it a few times. But it's not one that I really reach for all the time. Like, I like it. The mattes are good. The shimmers are good. There's a foiled one in there that's amazing. But I don't know if it's the colors or that it's just so small, or maybe it's the place that I have it in my collection, but I don't reach for it very much. It's a good palette, but I just have other palettes that I reach for before I go to that one. Then I have the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics, which the packaging of this, I think is absolutely beautiful. And then when you open it, it has a really big mirror. You can see my setup here. But all of these shades are just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous mattes. And some of them can be a little bit chalky at first, but once you work with them a little bit, they blend out really well. I think they're good matte shadows. And I usually will come into this palette and look for like a transition shade or something like that. Because like I said, I'm all about shimmer and glitter. And then this next palette I got for Christmas this year. It is the Becca Apres Ski Glow Collection Eye Lights palette. And the packaging, if my light won't reflect on it. There we go. Well, there's me. The packaging is gorgeous. It is reflective, as you can see me in there. But the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. And you open it up, and mine came chipped with a scratch through this one called Moonstone. But that's okay, because this palette is amazing. They are all shimmer. And there's 7 eyeshadows in here. And I will come in here to look for like a crease shade. I use this, which is Hot Cocoa, in my crease all the time. I use Topaz as a highlighter on my face sometimes. I come in here in this palette all the time. It's one of my favorites. I love it. I use it all the time. I think it was limited edition for Christmas, but I'm going to still put my limited edition palettes in here just so you guys can truly see all the palettes that I do have. And then I have the Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. This palette, as you can see, is very well loved. I got it when it first came out. I don't even know how long ago. And it smells amazing. Like, it smells like standard Tarte eyeshadows. And the bronzer is amazing. I'm a little bit too light for it, but if I go in with a light hand, the bronzer works out well for me. The blush, beautiful. Highlighter, it's my favorite highlighter ever. And I'm almost out of it. So I'm using it really sparingly because I'm almost out. And then all of the shadows are amazing, buttery, they blend well, they have a lot of pigmentation. Except Sippy Sippy is the only one that I have a little bit of a problem with because it's very glittery. Like, it has chunky glitter in it. But as you can see, it's still beautiful. And if you use like a glitter glue or maybe just a little bit of setting spray on it, works perfectly. It's beautiful. And then I have the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. This palette, the shadows are beautiful. And they work extremely, extremely, extremely well. All of these shadows are beautiful. I'm going to swatch this one right here. Scorched, and it is just the most perfect, like rose gold, dark rose gold shade. But I don't reach for this much. I thought I would because I used to be into like a really warm, bright, kind of like warm smoky eye look, and I used this a lot. But now that I've got other palettes and I've kind of stepped away from the warm look, I don't use it as much, but I still keep it in my collection because I paid a lot of money for it, and it's a really good palette. So if you're into warm, fiery red shades like that, you'll love it. I also have the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. This, I think, is the best nude eyeshadow palette that you can get, because on the bottom row, it has all these mattes, and then it has almost matching shimmers on the top, and they're really just gorgeous. There's cool shades in here, there's warm shades in here, there's mattes, there's shimmers, and they're just completely gorgeous. It has a matte black in it. The matte black in this palette is amazing. I put it over my eyeliner a lot to set it. And then I have pretty much like my holy grail palette, which is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And I'm sure all of you guys have seen this palette before, but this is what mine looks like. I don't know, there was a little problem with my white chocolate shade, and it's just kind of chunky and it has a little spot in it. I don't know if I got like another shadow in it or something like that, but it's really hard to get the product off. So I think I'm going to try to scrape that off one of these days, but I'm really scared to touch it. And then, as you can see, I use marzipan all the time. I use it on my lid. I use it as a face highlight. I use it as a lip topper. I've used it on my shoulders before. I just love this shade. And I don't know if they do it individually, but if they do this shade individually, definitely going to look into that. But that is like my holy grail palette that I love. And this, I just got this palette the other day. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I don't know. I think this may top the Too Faced palette. But I'm not going to say that this is like my holy grail palette yet, because Too Faced has a special place in my heart. But these shades in this palette are just gorgeous. They're so beautiful. And I didn't think I would use Love Letter or Primavera because they're very bright red. But once you swatch them and look at them, they're so beautiful. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it work because I've never really done colorful eye looks before. But once I tried them, I fell in love with them. And even my mom was like, you know, I've seen you try red eyes before and I think it makes you look sick, or like I have pink eye or something like that. But those shades just worked. And so I'm thinking it may take the place of the Chocolate Bar palette as my holy grail palette, but I still don't want to say that yet because I haven't tried it that much. But then I have a very sentimental palette to me because I had been watching makeup videos for years and years and years, and I had always loved makeup. And I wore makeup, but I didn't wear like a lot of makeup. I didn't research makeup besides like watching videos on it. And I had never been to like Sephora, Ulta, anywhere like that. My mom was like, we don't need to go to these places, so you can get makeup at the drugstore. You can go to Walmart, get some foundation and mascara, you're fine. But we went to JCPenney's one day, Easter dress shopping. I think it was like 3 years ago. And the JCPenney we went to had a Sephora in it. And I stopped in my tracks and I was like, they have a Sephora in here. I'm going to go to Sephora. So my mom and my sisters were like, we have to find an Easter dress. So I went and I tried on Easter dresses so fast. And I found one. I didn't even really like it. But I was like, Mom, I love this dress. I need it. I'm going to put it in the buggy. And then my sisters were still like trying on things, looking for things. So while they were doing that, I snuck into Sephora. And I saw the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. And I had seen this in so many YouTube videos because it had like just came out and it was fresh and new and everybody was loving it. And I love Gwen Stefani. So I was looking at it and I was like, this is expensive. But I was like, we're an hour away from home. This is the closest makeup store we have. So I just went ahead and got it because I had like babysitting money or something with me. So I got this palette, and as you can tell, it has been very well loved. And I still, after all this time, it's probably expired, which is bad, but it's okay. And it's probably like, I got it when the Gwen Stefani palette came out, so you can do the math on that. But these shades are just amazing and buttery, and they blend out so well. There's so many good transition shades in here, so many good shimmers. I don't really use the pink or the blue, and I should because they're beautiful. But I really just haven't moved into the world of colorful looks yet. But I'm going to. I'm going to give it a shot. But that was my last palette that I had, and I wanted to show this one last because this is the first real high-end going to Sephora, going to Ulta makeup thing that I ever bought. And I remember when I got this, I got home and I swatched all the shades and I did an eye look, and then I wiped the eye look off, and then I did another one, and I did like 10. And I sat with this palette for like 4 hours and just worked on look after look, and I just sat there and stared at it, and I put it on display in my room, and I was so proud to have it. And that's where my love for makeup really started. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you would like to see next. I was going to do maybe my lipstick collection next or my single shadow collection. But makeup palettes, like eyeshadow palettes, are the thing that I have the most of. And I know that I have a lot from one person. But those are what I have the most of. So I decided to do that first to kind of start off this channel. So if you guys want to see any tutorials or anything like that, give me suggestions below. And I'm going to try to start posting on here and see where it goes. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe or like it. And if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. Hope you do next time. Bye.